All right, great pleasure. We welcome back to the show Alina Habba, counselor to the president. Alina, thank you for doing this. I know you're awful busy. Listen, I just wanted, it's almost a rant, but let me pare it down. So the Supreme Court finally lets the DOGE go through, shut down USAID, or most of USAID in the foreign aid. Okay, fine. I don't understand, though, how these activist judges with axes to grind against Trump can keep going against his constitutional authority. It's called, what is it? It's Article 2, all right? It's all executive branch presidential authority. And how can they continue to thwart what he is trying to do? Even the Wall Street Journal, which is often critical, they're behind him on this. I want to get to the regulatory agencies in a second. But this has to stop. The Supremes or somebody has to step in and say, no more. Specific judges cannot derail presidential authority, Alina. Somebody's got to stop this.
Yeah, I think that once we get a couple Supreme Court decisions like we have been repeatedly saying, we win, you lose, your restraining order, it's temporary restraining orders that they're initially getting, are constantly falling apart once these judges and the activist judges no longer have it, and then we elevate it. We get to the appellate court, and in some instances, like last night, the Supreme Court, they're going to become exhausted and irritated with this behavior. I think more importantly, America is exhausted and irritated with this behavior. We have bigger fish to fry right now. Them trying to stop us from doing what? Saving money, not wasting it, not spending $2 billion that are clearly going to NGOs that might have been lining bureaucrats' pockets. That's what we want to take up the time of the Supreme Court of this country in doing? I don't think so. But this is the lawfare that we've seen and spoken about ad nauseum, Larry, for how many years now have I been coming on and talking about it? I thought it would stop when we won on November 5th in such a massive mandate, but they haven't gotten the memo yet.
Yeah, and they also, look at presidential policy here. We talked about this a month back or longer. Presidential policy wants to pause certain funding programs for review, and then come back and have a look at it. And you've got judges saying you can't even do that. Now, that is absolutely within the president's domain. He has absolutely every authority in the world to pause and review stuff that hasn't even been sent out yet.
That's right. And what they tried to do, and the Supreme Court stopped last night in another victory for us, was shove down our throats that we had to spend $2 billion immediately because of prior contracts that the prior administration, there is no question about it, tried to rush deals, tried to spend money very quickly like we saw with the hotels in New York, and thought we wouldn't catch it and we wouldn't claw it back. So we're not going to be held to the same frivolous, careless, reckless disregard standards that the last administration had. And the courts are siding with us. Unfortunately, this is crazy. I think we're at 65 now lawsuits with them trying to stop DOGE from doing exactly what the president has asked, exactly what he is constitutionally allowed to do, which is run this country and make us better, our economy stronger.
You know, the other thing is, even more generally, Alina, okay, Trump's executive power restoration, okay? All these agencies, they're not independent of the planet Earth, okay? They exist. The president appoints the chairs. The president appoints the members of the commissioners. I'm just going to read you a list. SEC, FCC, FTC, FEC, CFTC, CFPB, FERC, FDIC, the Federal Reserve. Look, there's so many of these agencies, nobody even knows how many there are. People who ran the Oversight Committee don't know how many there are. Why? They should be under review, point number one, and they should be subjected to presidential policy. This idea that they're a fourth branch of government is crazy. And again, Alina, I appeal to your legal scholarness, because this also is about executive authority. This is Article 2 as well.
Yeah, it's very simple. If we do not have an executive running this country under that executive authority that was granted by the Constitution that you mentioned, then we do not have coordination with hundreds of thousands of individuals, thousands of people Cabinet members would have no coordination. It would be nonsensical. The president is supposed to run this country, and he does, and he is. And that's the truth of the matter. And by the way, this is acronym mayhem in D.C. I can tell you something I did not foresee.
Yes.
And now every meeting I go in, I go, no acronyms. I want you to tell me who we're talking about. And I could have listed a ton more, DHI, DHS. I mean, it goes on and on and on. But the president is well-versed and is ready to coordinate. He's not ordering things that are not being coordinated. Yes, he makes an order, he files the executive order, but we all have to do that.
He's the president. He's the president. He was elected.
Yes.
Alina Habba, thank you. Appreciate it very, very much. See you soon.